Howdy y'all, my name is Outlaw, and today I will be reading yet again another one of my articles from Medium. So, if you like this video, please give it a like, and of course, give my original article 50 claps on Medium, and follow me there. And of course, share it everywhere you know. And if you really like my content, please consider donating to my Patreon, or to my Ko-fi, or get something from my merch store, like one of those Castro Yoda t-shirts. Now let's get on with the video. What is critical race theory? The theory that is destroying American culture, values, and stability. That is what I would call critical race theory in one sentence. This theory is one of the most destructive theories of our time, and it has infected all levels of government, institutions, businesses, and entertainment. It holds the view that colorblindness doesn't go far enough or is racist itself. But first, what even is critical race theory, or CRT for short? To start, the theory was recognized in 1989, but has its origins in 1960s and 70s. The theory also has its connections to Marxist-oriented critical theory. According to Britannica, the theorists hold that laws and legal institutions in the United States are inherently racist insofar as they function to create and maintain social, economic, and political inequalities between whites and non-whites, especially African Americans. In the past, during the 1960s and before, you could argue that there was institutional and/or systemic racism because there were actual laws that were made explicitly to target minority groups of different races. However, in the United States of America today, there is not much to support that claim. There are no laws that explicitly or even implicitly affect black people. Things like voter ID laws affect everyone, and other voting laws do the same. There's no segregation by race anymore under the law. In fact, people can actually sue others for discrimination on the basis of race since 1964. Another point people who subscribe to the theory will say is that the laws may not be racist, but they are not enforced equally. This is also false. There have been many studies to look at the treatment of minorities by law enforcement and in the Justice Department. Most studies do not find any significant evidence of unjust enforcement of the law. Certain minority groups are more likely to be arrested and imprisoned for certain crimes because they are more likely to commit them. As to why they are more likely to commit crimes has to do with culture and upbringing. The other area critical race theorists will say is systemically racist is the private sector. Theorists mention that blacks and Hispanic people are less likely to be hired because of their race. This is not the case. Culture and familiarity play a far greater role than your race or skin color. No significant evidence can be attributed to racial bias. The next part of this argument is that whites make more than blacks and Hispanics and are more likely to get loans. This argument forgets that Asians make more money on average than any other racial group. And certain ethnic African immigrants also make more money than whites on average. As for loans, Asians are just as likely, if not even more likely, to get a loan than whites on average. So yet again, race does not play a factor, or at the very least, plays an insignificant one. This is not to say that racism doesn't exist or that you will never be discriminated against in your entire life. No. The point is that the critical race theory is flawed because it doesn't look at the reason close enough and just assumes everything is because of racism. There is still racism, and it will never go away fully. But is it a major problem for minorities in America today? No. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe, and of course, go share my original article and give it 50 claps, and of course, follow me there on Medium. And if you really like my content, please consider donating to my Patreon or to my Ko-fi. Do all this, and I'll see y'all later.